Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm back again with another book TBR for the month of July. So we are already 1 week into July and I thought let's make a book video. I mean, we haven't done it for a month, I guess. I am only doing those TBRs because I don't know if you're still interested in that, but anyways. So usually if you have watched the rest two videos, I am a person, I mean, I am a mood reader but not so much into it, but I like setting up my books which I want to read for the month, and I usually stick up to it because that's how actually I reach my goal. And so for this time I also have a reading journal where I actually write down whatever I feel after reading that book, or also any other ideas. And if you don't know, I have actually started a page in Instagram, so where I just share the thoughts and some of the fun reels. So that's the reason I have a reading journal. Anyways, so this video is gonna be in two parts. One is part where I set my journal, and two is the part where we discuss what all the books I have planned for the month of July. So without further ado, let's get started. Here is a tiny glimpse of how my June was. My June reading was really great. I read some really good books and I actually made a few reading vlogs in there. Also, I'm stuck with purple. I mean, I'm so much into purple, so I'm using this purple pen again to make this a really simple front page where I have the two whatever the books I want to read, a list of them, and then a small quote which is pretty common, which has so many books to read and so less time. And for the next page, I am making this really different spread which I was what do I say, experimenting for last month too, and it really went well. It has 4 blocks. One is where the book and author, then we have the genre, then we have the rating which I want to give, and then any other books which are written by the same author. And on the right side, I'm adding a small page for ideas. Like, since I have a new Instagram page now, I want to like write down whatever the ideas of reels I have, and a small schedule for the social media again, if I have anything I want to do at a particular time, like uploading a video or the reading vlog, as I said before. So now that we have set the journal, so there are a few things which I usually add, like some kinds of prompts or challenges while I select or choose the books for the month. So usually at the beginning of the year, I made a few prompts, like 6 or 7, where I wanted to read more of Indian authors and more of classics this year, because I haven't read any. So if you don't know what are the prompts, do check out the previous video, the month of May, where I actually read out all the prompts. And while through the year, while I was doing that, I have found, so I read The Diary of a Young Girl last month. So when I was reading that, I was so much very interested in finding out what happened at the Holocaust and also about the World War II. So I thought, like, why not add that into another prompt for my reading. And also, while I was reading the Indian authors and while I was searching what are the books I want to read, I mean, see, I was almost always into the young adult fantasy and fiction, but slowly while I was going through the books, I kind of was into the contemporary reading and stuff. I don't know if I can actually say that, but anyway, so while I was checking through the books of Indian authors, I found out that I can actually read something about books which describe the Indian states. Like, I have read The God of Small Things, which usually is about Kerala and all that in the past, like just after the independence. And I also read The Henna Artist, which was describing the pre-independence, like the Rajputian, the old past Rajasthan. So while I was finding books through that, and there were a lot of books which actually describe specific states, so I thought, why not read that? Why not make my own challenge of reading one book once a month about a specific state? So those are 2 more prompts which I added. So it's almost like 7 of the books which came down for me to read. I mean, I have brought down all the prompts together and put down, and there were 7 books. So let's get started with that now. So the first prompt is to read a memoir or autobiography. I mean, I wanted to add this because maybe I wanted to know much about the writers and how they have gone through, because And the last one I have read was with Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl. I don't know if that comes under memoir, but I really liked it. So for this a month, for that prompt, I'm doing Eat, Pray and Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. Well, this is a book about her living all of her life at the middle and going on a world tour to actually find out herself and also to find out what is happening or what she has to do. And this book also has some parts of it in India, and I'm really interested to start it. If you remember, I have read Big Magic in May and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, even though it was non-fiction, I just loved reading it, and I'm really into reading this book. So the next prompt is to read an Indian author, and for this I have mixed it with my own prompt, which is to read a Indian state, to read a book which is describing one of the Indian states, and for that I chose The Night Train at Deoli by Ruskin Bond. I know Ruskin Bond is the one author which everyone recommends for a beginner to read, and I haven't yet read one of his books, and I'm really excited to read that. And also that book describes Himachal Pradesh, so I can tick off one of the states there. So the next prompt is to read an audiobook or Kindle. So if you know, I have I was unstoppable in buying books, and the one resolution I put up at the beginning of the year is I have to read more of audiobooks and Kindles. So in order to do that, I made that prompt to read an audiobook or Kindle every month. And for this month, the Kindle I have chose is The Tattooist of Osquiz, and actually that mixes up with, that actually also goes with my prompt of reading one of the books from the Holocaust, because The Tattoo of Osquiz is actually about a carpenter who is taken up by one of these concentration camps and by the Nazi Germany, and he is kept put up in one of the concentration camps in Auschwitz, and there he turns into a tattooist who he tattoos all of the prisoners and all of the people who were at those camps and what he went through. So I'm really I was so intrigued to know what happened, so I chose that book for that. The next book, the next prompt is to read a non-fiction. Again, I was never a non-fiction reader, so I made that prompt so that I can inculcate more of the non-fictions into the my reading list. And for that, I chose literally a really long book. And I don't know how many months I'm gonna read this, but anyway, it's The Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. And well, as I said, I don't know how many months it's gonna be, but I really wanted to read this, and look how gorgeous the book is. The white cover. The main thing about white books is I'm really scared when these might get damaged. Well, anyway, prompt is to read one classic, and for that classic I chose Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Well, this is the most talked one. This is a gothic novel, and this talks about an orphan girl who is actually raised up really brutally by her aunt, and she was sent to a boarding school, and then she finds a person called Mr. Rochester, and then she becomes the mistress of the Thornfield, which is the house where Rochester lives. And then suddenly something happens, and she is sent out from the Thornfield, and then she is set out free, and then she has to find out what happens next. And I really wanted to read this. This was most talked. Yes, Pride and Prejudice was one of the classics which was most talked. This is the next one, and it's gothic, so well, that's what intrigued me more than the Pride and Prejudice one. There's a quote which says, "I'm no bird and no net ensnares me. I'm a free human being with an independent will." Doesn't it resonate with every one of us? Well, that's the book for the classics prompt of mine. And also, along with all these prompts, I also thought of reading one of Murakami's book every month. In June, I read Kafka on the Shore, but for this month, I haven't got in hand in any of the books, but I don't know, I might add up in between the month, but for now, none of the None of the Murakami books are in the list, but one book which I really wanted to read for a really long time is Radio Silence by Alice Osman. Like, this is, every one of them, like whoever I have watched in YouTube or Instagram or anywhere, this was the most recommended one, and mostly for the teenagers because it talks about everything that you go through in your teenage. Well, I'm not a teenager now, but still I think it does will resonate with me, whatever the thoughts I had, and maybe. But this was the really I can actually say this is the most anticipated read of 2021 for me, so I'm really excited. This was another book which I put up in my July schedule. And the last one, well, while I was searching for all the Indian books and authors, I came through one reading challenge which is by Talk to Librarian, and they have these books of they have prompts for the whole year, and I know I was late in joining it, but then we have still 6 months, and I thought, why not join it? And for that, the prompt for July is read a book which is set up in an island, and for that I chose We Were Liars. And to be honest, I didn't even read the blurb. That was the most recommended books recently, and I thought that would really go well. I mean, I'm staying in the trend, and I'm also reading all the old books too. Well, that was it for today, guys. I don't know if I did it well, but that's how the books I wanted to read, all the books I wanted to read. Do let me know in the comment section below if you have read any one of them, and if any one of them are favorites, or if you want to take up any one of them. And if you do like to have a talk about it, like you read with me and talk about it, do check out my Instagram channel where I actually make vlogging videos of while I'm reading the whole book. Like, you get a vlog, the reading vlog of the book. So do check out the channel, and do like, share and subscribe, and let me know if you want me to make more of the book videos, because I'm really excited to make, because that's what I'm doing. I'm reading all the time. So, well, till next time, have a great day, guys. Take care. Bye bye.